All right, today we're gonna get your muscle size to grow bigger than you've ever been able to train your muscle to grow. The hypertrophy in this is insane. How are we gonna do that? We're gonna do it through nucleus overload, or the way I heard it when I first started working out was, that's not how you spell it, was nucleus explosion. Okay? And what is that, you might ask? Whenever you do nucleus overload, you're taking a muscle and extending the amount of volume and intensity that you're putting it through for a short period of time. What I've learned from my experience, what is optimal is a month. So for a month straight, you're gonna be doing one muscle group. You're gonna target a specific muscle group. How is this gonna make the muscle size increase? So you're gonna increase the capillaries in the muscle, which allows it to grow in size, all right? So key points of this, lots of volume and lots of intensity. And I'm gonna show you by the end of this video how you can make you an exercise and the specifics of it that'll make it to where it's the best overload training for this specific type of training. Lots of intensity. All right. Now, the adaptation occurs because of how much work you're putting your muscle through. It has to adapt to this. You don't want to do it for longer than a month period of time, because if you do, you're just going to fatigue the muscle to a point that it can't recover from. You have a threshold. So the capillaries in your muscle, say this graph right here, this is its threshold. We're gonna push it past its threshold during this. So this is where the nucleus overload begins. And we're gonna push it past this threshold. But once you get to 100%, you don't wanna push it further past that 100%, which is gonna be at the one month training mark. Okay, because if you push it past that, it can lead to injury and fatigue. It just reverses the gains. So these are the gains you're getting once you get up to here, and then they start reverting back if you don't quit this process after about a month period of time. Okay? Now, how specifically do you do nucleus overload or explosive training? Great question. We're about to figure that out right here. So, whenever you're doing this, you want to pick out a certain muscle group. To keep it simple and to where everyone can understand, today, for the example, we'll use the biceps. Let's say you got some small looking biceps and you just wish that your biceps were huge. And whenever you're doing this, you're hyper-focusing on one muscle group. You don't want it to be multiple muscle groups. This has to be one. That is the whole point of the nucleus overload training, to increase the capillaries in one specific muscle, and the muscle size will expand. All right, so for the bicep, what are we gonna do specifically? So let's choose some exercises to start off. Let's say for bicep, we're gonna do something simple, easy bar curls. Why did I choose easy bar curls? Okay, because it's an isolation exercise. You don't want to start off on this doing compound exercises. You want to make sure that they're isolation first, which is it's contradicting what I usually say. You start off and you want to do your most difficult exercise first. But in this case, it's going to be the isolation first because of what we're targeting, what the goal is. Isolation. Okay? We're isolating that bicep. Now, during this process, this 30-day or so process, you want to continue to do your normal exercises, but you might tone it down a little bit. You want to do this first. Begin your exercise with this. Don't do your exercise first, then do this. Start off with these here. You got your easy bar curls. Then, let's say you do dumbbell hammer curls. Because you don't want to be, if you're targeting a specific look in the muscle, because it will grow in however way you train it, the motion, you can search up exercises that'll make your bicep grow in a certain way and really hammer in them exercises. Okay, but for here, we'll just make an overall well-rounded bicep. So dumbbell hammer curls. And whenever you choose this, you want about 3 to 4 exercises that you're going to begin your program with every day. So isolation, 3 to 4 exercises that are going to target the specific muscle for this nucleus overload. Okay? Now, for this one, let's just say you wanted to do some regular dumbbell hammer curls. That'll work. Bicep curls. Or, actually, let's say you wanted to do reverse. So we'll just do bicep curls, reverse. You want to target the brachialis, make your muscle grow in the bicep size. That'll really make the size of your bicep grow doing reverse curls, but it also has the forearm in there, but it's the best way we can isolate it. All right, so after you got about 2 or 3 of these isolating exercises for the bicep, then what people don't talk about that you need to know, you want to do a compound exercise last. Why would you do a compound exercise last? Because your muscle is already fatigued at this point. After you complete these, it's fatigued greatly. So you want to do an exercise that is going to use other muscles to assist you to get more strength, more reps into that bicep. So let's choose chin-ups. Would be a great one after this. Chin-ups. How would that help you? Okay, you start to engage your lats and you start to use your back muscles, and it's gonna help with that bicep, and you can really stack on your whole body weight while you're doing the chin-ups. That's how it's gonna assist you instead of just doing 25-pound reverse curls. You're using the whole body weight after you're already fatigued to a point. Now, how many reps and sets should you do? So this is strictly a hypertrophy program for nucleus overload. So you're going to be doing about 6 to 12 reps, okay? So the rep range, or right in blue, you're going to be doing 6 to 12 reps. How many sets? You're going to be doing 2 to 3 sets of each of these. And whenever you do them, you don't want it to be completely fatigued by the time you're done with the bicep easy bar curls. You want it to be to where you can still keep going and keep exercising this muscle. So at this point, I would say your intensity should be around 60 to 75%. So 60 to 75% intensity, which is very important. Because if you're already fatigued, by the time you get to here, you're canceling out your gains. You're wanting to maximize the amount of reps that we can get into here so we can really increase the load on the capillaries, make them expand. All right? Now, whenever you do this, you also want to make sure you have a good rest period. So the rest period on here is going to be from about 2 to 3 minutes, especially for this training, which is typically falls in the line with strength training. But for this, it's completely different. We're working these muscles every single day for a 30-day period. So you want to make sure that you're getting optimal rest and recovery during this period, optimal nutrition, and to really reiterate, let's recap on this. You're going to be doing the isolation all the way through until here. You're going to be doing compound. All right, compound for the last one or the last two, however you want to do it. 6 to 12 rep range, 2 to 3 sets on this, 2 to 3 sets on this, 2 to 3. See, keep going. All right, and your lower intensity should be at the start. So about 60% right here. And then let's say it was really easy throughout here. Well, here you kick it up to the 75% intensity. That's how you can make up for a loss of intensity throughout it. You don't want to start off 75%. And then make sure you give yourself 2 to 3 minutes. And to know how much rest you need, your body is your own mentor. It's wise. It'll tell you. You'll know when you can start on the next set. All right. Make sure I got anything else. Make sure that you're following a similar workout plan as usual, and make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And if you got any questions or comments on this, leave them down below. But what's going to happen whenever you finish all this, your muscle, you can measure it with the measuring tape. Your muscle will grow at about, let's say it's your bicep. Your muscle will grow about 2 to 3 inches. I'm telling you. I know for a fact this will happen, okay? It's a bodybuilding style type workout. And one thing that I need you to know before I end this, make sure, so you're working out your bicep. Make sure you work out the antagonist. The antagonist here to your bicep would be your tricep. If you're not working out your antagonist, you're going to have terrible muscle imbalances. So here I'll put work antagonist. And in this situation, it is the tricep. So in your normal scheduled exercise, you're going to do everything the same way that you usually do. But whenever you do workouts for your tricep, you're going to emphasize them a little bit more. Because if you get a muscle imbalance on your bicep to tricep, you're damaging the muscle size and the strength and the gains you could be getting, because your tricep has to be able to stop. It has to be able to stop it's the opposite of the contraction that you're working this whole time. And if you have a weak imbalance, you could cause yourself injuries. Your tricep will start hurting. And we just want to maximize everything that we can in this. So to end it off, make sure that whenever you do this, you're working an antagonist, something that gets disregarded during nucleus overload or explosive training. All right. And if you got any more questions, leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm out.